Like, it's fucking freezing. It's supposed to snow. I believe it's supposed to snow here tomorrow. So that's abnormal for Charlotte, North Carolina. We truthfully do not get a lot of snow, which I'm a huge fan of not getting snow because I do not like the cold weather. I do not do well in the cold weather. So that's always kind of difficult for me to deal with. I haven't decided if I'm gonna go to work tomorrow or not, or if I'm gonna try to push things off because if it does snow and it gets bad, that van is fucking heavy. Like, I won't be able to control the van um, on ice or snow. So we'll see. Hey girl, hey girl. He's feeling so Kimber's feeling a little bit better. Thank you everybody who was asking. He is doing a little bit better. He actually ate all of his dinner this evening. And I didn't give him a ton. I gave him about half of what he normally eats, and he did eat all of that. And so far, he's kept all of it down, which is a positive thing because he wasn't keeping any of his food down. Yeah, he wasn't keeping any of his food down before. He was kind of throwing it all up. So he is feeling a little bit better. I guess I just did not expect for the anesthesia to like be this heavy on him, you know? I guess I didn't expect that. Um the only other time that he's had to go under anesthesia was when he was neutered, and he was a puppy when that happened. So, like, he was a tiny little thing, but he bounced back so quickly from that. Or maybe it's just that he was a puppy and it just felt like he bounced back really quickly, but I don't know. It definitely took him a little longer than I would have liked and would have anticipated for that. So I was a little scared, a little nervous, but now that he's eating and he seems to be back to like himself, like he seems to be himself again. Not not like moping around and um with no energy or anything like that. So he's still kind of chilling. Thank you for liking the live. Make sure you're double tapping that screen. So he is like a little bit more active than he was that very first day. That very first day, he didn't do anything. Like he didn't do anything. He came home and he was sluggish, and it was like hard for him to even move. And then the next day he was kind of the same way, and it honestly it didn't feel like the anesthesia wore off until, so I picked him up at 5 o'clock on Tuesday, and it didn't feel like the anesthesia really wore off of him until yesterday at like 7 o'clock. That's when he started to seem like he was coming around and being more of himself. And I did feed him a little bit yesterday. I gave him some chicken. Yeah, it took a long time. I gave him some chicken, um and then fed him like some bread and stuff like that. Marilyn, thank you for letting me know that Natasha said that Nicholas said that they were going to name the baby Aurora over the phone. Unfortunately, without any credible receipts, that is just a rumor. And not saying that Natasha isn't telling the truth, but anybody can lie and say that Nicholas told them that. I could lie and say Nicholas told me that. There's no way to verify that information. I have reached out to Nicholas a couple of times. So if I truly wanted to, I could reach out to him and ask him. And I might do that just to verify whether or not the information is accurate, because I don't think that it's helpful for us to spread rumors about Gypsy. I don't think that that's helpful because it takes away from the facts of the case. And it's hard. Yeah, he's replied to me. It's hard for us to stay focused on the things that are really important, like making sure that people understand how easy it is for her to manipulate people, pointing out her lies. Like, those kinds of things are important. I don't think that it's important for us to talk about how her hair looked longer in a picture than it did in this picture. Like, I think that that's just fucking petty. And I don't think that it's beneficial for any of us to talk about things like that. Like her stupid hair color or her hair length or filters on her photos. Like, we all know she uses filters on her photos. We're not dumb. We know what she looks like. I don't think she understands what she looks like because she's always trying to filter her face to look like somebody different. Hold on. So I ended up downloading the Securus app. And that's how you're able to talk to Nicholas. And I meant to email him after the holidays were over, but I forgot to. So I will email him and ask him about the name. I wanted it to be true also because I feel like she's diabolical and everything that she does is kind of symbolic, right? Like, it's done for a reason. Some sort of symbolism or whatever. Like, she's got a really big thing with dates. And I think that the reason why she wanted her baby to be born on the 28th, because that was definitely a scheduled induction. Definitely. I think the reason why she wanted the baby to be born on the date was because she's trying to kind of make her past disappear in a way. Does that make sense? And if she change it, yeah, to forget about all the bad shit that is associated with her, she'd like for all that shit to go away. Yes, Boujerique. Yes, it is a trophy because she committed the crime in Aurora, Missouri, Springfield. Yes, that's what it is. It is a trophy. And it's also a way to say F you to her mom, for her mom saying that she'd never be able to have kids. I think Gypsy is really like resentful of her mother for trying to be realistic about her limitations as someone who carries this chromosome deletion. I think her mom was trying to help her understand, like, you're probably not going to have a normal life like a normal human. And I think that she kept trying to prove her mom wrong, and she wanted her mom gone because I think she felt like if her mother was still around, she would never have the opportunity to live out some of the dreams that she had for herself, like getting pregnant, like having a family and getting married and all those things. She was back on the Vile Files again. Did I miss that? She went back on the Vile Files again? Like for the third time? Bon Bon, when was that? I know, when was the podcast? When Gypsy was on it? Yeah, I haven't heard anything about the Vile Files either. Definitely look that up for me. I'd be interested in hearing that. I believed that she was induced anyway. What was he do? Was Gypsy the topic? Cuz I didn't know that he had her back on again. Oh, okay, he was covering other things. Okay, okay. Yeah, I definitely believe that she was induced because if you think back to like how everything happened, remember that she was hacked. I, if I remember correctly, she was hacked the night of the 27th. And if you think about when you are induced, they want you in the hospital at 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning in order to start the induction. Did you hear my dog snoring? In order to start the induction. And I said this before. I went in, I had my daughter induced. I went in at 5:30 and my daughter was born a little after 10. So the timing seems about right. If she went in to have the induction at 5 o'clock in the morning and she had her at 9:48. That's about right as far as time is concerned. I did. I did see the post that she made bragging about the money that she got from her haters because of the hacker. I think that she just loves to be a smartass and like kind of laugh in everybody's face when she gets something that people don't think she should have or want her to have. Yeah, it was like $300. Not a ton of money, but I mean, I could do a lot with $300 right now. So I'd be cool with, a free $300 right now. Not really free because I mean you do have to work for it. You have to go live and talk to people and be engaging in order for people to want to, send you money or whatever. I do think that it's a little annoying that everyone keeps bringing up this like really stupid shit that really doesn't even it really doesn't even matter. Like, and for me, it's like, why do people think that Gypsy was with Ryan after Christmas or whatever, or before Christmas or whatever? I don't understand why they think that. To me, that makes no sense. It also makes no sense for people to be talking about what's she going to do for a job now. She does always try to clap back, but it's because she doesn't know how. That's the reason why it never really feels like a clap back, because she doesn't know how to. She's very immature in the way that she does try to clap back. So whenever you get gifts on TikTok, you don't get paid out immediately. It usually takes a few days in order for you to get it. And sometimes, like, say for instance, if my videos made money on TikTok, those payouts are done on the 15th of every month. But when you get gifts, those are paid out differently. I think they're paid out 72 hours after you go live, or maybe even a different schedule. I don't know, because I'm not gifted a lot on live. So I don't have a lot of experience with that and knowing like how or when you actually get that money. But I do know that the day that she said she got those gifts, I did receive a payout into my PayPal account as well. Yeah, so he was telling everybody like, I need to have this account until such and such in order to be able to get it, because he would have had to have like verified his bank account and like all that other information in order for him to get that money. My Pepsi tastes funny. Like really funny. I think that Ryan knows that he can play on people's um intuition or play on people's feelings by not being very forward about things. I don't think that Gypsy was at his house. I mean, come on, guys. Like, she's pregnant with another man's baby. I don't think that she would be at his house, especially not in the bed. Do I think that they were possibly at a Airbnb or something along those lines? Yeah, possibly. Why? Because if she was having complications when they went to the book signing, if she was having complications at that point in time, then it would have been they probably would have wanted to be close to the hospital where she was going to give birth, just in case. And I don't know how hospitals are down there in the bayou, and if, there's one close by or whatever, but they may not have been very close to the hospital. And so they very well likely could have gotten an Airbnb to be closer to the hospital just in case something happened. There's a lot of explanations other than, oh, she was at Ryan's house. That just does not make sense. To be quite honest, Shorty Pie, it may look like it, but then if you think about it, we can kind of force our minds to believe whatever we want. We can force our minds to believe whatever we want to believe. So if you want to believe that it does look like it, of course that's what you're going to believe, because you're telling your mind that that's what you want to believe. I personally do not think that that's what was going on at all. I True, Marilyn. I think that because they are under contract, I think they want some of these things to be left up to, the suspense, and they want people to be watching the show. Therefore, they're trying not to give out a lot of information, and I think that that's one of the reasons why they asked Gypsy to stop posting on her social media, because she can't keep a secret. Hey, Patience, she can't keep a secret at all, because she wants everybody to know what's going on, because everybody knowing what's going on somehow feeds her narcissism. So I think that they're all trying to create tension and drama so that everybody wants to watch the show. I wonder if Nick and his wife actually talked to Gypsy, and Gypsy told them she was induced, because Gypsy lies about everything. And the way that she worded, her birthing experience and how great it was, this, that, and the other, it sounded like a lie. Oh, I had the best birthing experience. I went in at 6 centimeters dilated and got an epidural, and 15 minutes later, she was out. Like, that does not seem realistic. I think Ryan enjoys being her backup. I mean, he fucking simps for her like she's got golden poo nanny. Like, I just don't understand. She's not a pretty person. She's not good looking at all. So to me, it doesn't make sense for any man to want to be with her. And I'm not saying that to be mean, but she's just not. Not only is she not a good looking person, but she's also a convicted unaliver. Like, are you serious? Like, I would never be with somebody like that, or worse, think that they're a prize. And the way that he thinks that she's a prize is just crazy. Ryan does need to grow a pair. I can't for the life of me understand what she has over him. Hey, Jamie. Hey, Jessica. It does make them all look suspicious, because why would you want to? Thank you, Jamie. Thank you for the gift. Why would you want to purposely put yourself in the arms of a schmurderer? I don't care what the excuse is. I don't care if you're trying to tell me that it was your only option, this, that, and the other. You still unalive somebody. Like you still unalive somebody. It doesn't matter what type of excuse you try to throw my way, you're still dangerous. Ryan does have issues. It's because he's heavy. He's heavy. He's not very good looking. He's probably not had a lot of girlfriends. I'm sorry. He's probably not had a lot of girlfriends. He's probably not had, a lot of females be interested in him just at all, just in general. And I'm sure that Gypsy was probably the prettiest woman he's ever had, and that's saying something because she's not that pretty. But I know, Michelle, you're so right. Like, as a mom, what would make anyone be attracted to a woman who was in prison for murdering her own mother? Like, I could honestly see if she was in prison for unaliving a boyfriend or even a friend, or unaliving a rapist or something like that. But unaliving your own mother, a person that you shared a home with, the woman who gave life to you, that's just creepy. That's just creepy. Because if she would do that to her own mother, what's to stop her from doing it to you? And how they're not thinking about that, it's so strange to me. Yes, unless it's a family member, there's no reason why you should be writing an inmate. Like some pen pal love situation. Like, why would you want to fall in love with somebody who's in prison? They can't do anything for you. I would be so terrified if I was Ken's mom or Ryan's mom, because she is a dangerous person. I think that everyone is overlooking the fact that she planned and executed this unaliving. They're viewing her as a victim rather than taking that out of the equation and looking at the actual facts of what she did and what happened. Remove the fact that you think that she was a victim of some sort of horrific medical abuse situation. Take that out of the equation, because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you do growing or what happens to you growing up. There is nothing on this earth that gives you the right to take a life from somebody else unless it is a life or death situation in that moment. Unless it is you or me, that's the only way I could ever find myself in a situation to even have the adrenaline to do something like that. You know what I'm saying? And she planned it out in cold blood. And for them to just disregard all of the facts because she's a sweet girl and she's a victim, like, you're setting yourself up for serious issues later on down the line, because she is going to harm someone. And if it's not Ken or Ryan, it's definitely going to be that child. Yeah, I would be so scared. Her brother Dylan, I don't think so. I don't think Dylan has anything to do with it. I've never read JC Dugard's book. I have not read her book. I just got Sherry Frankie's book. We're going to do that book after we finish this one. I don't think you should be allowed to date or marry in prison either. I think that that's weird. Exactly, Janie. The only person who is in control of your life is you. And the way that she acts, and I say this all the time, I can be anybody that you want for an hour. I can be anybody that you want for 2 hours. I can be anybody that you want me to be if I'm only seeing you a couple times a year. Like they don't actually know who Gypsy is until they spend some real time with Gypsy. Make her angry, then you'll see who she really is. You read it in one day. I am so proud of you. Who Parker is the dog. Yeah, I can be anybody you want me to be for a short amount of time. Even believing that she was a victim, she still committed murder. Somebody said this the other day, but remember in that video where Gypsy actually was showing Nick in the video where she was showing him how to do the jabbing motions. In that video, she only showed him 4 times. And with kids that are autistic, they take things very literally. So when she did that 4 times, that's exactly what he said he did. Oh, Marilyn, I think that she purposely let Parker out. I think that she was trying to get rid of Parker because people who are manipulative and abusive use emotional abuse in order to control you. And a lot of times they will use emotional abuse to control you in ways of getting rid of things that are of significant to you. Like, say, for instance, this laptop was a laptop that I needed for work and it was how I made my money. But me and my abuser got into an argument. Well, in order to hurt me without physically putting hands on me, they're going to take something that I need and use and they're going to destroy it as a way to hurt me without physically hurting me. And yeah, she absolutely did that with the dog. 100%. She definitely feels like Ken loves the dog more than her. Imagine how she's going to feel when it's the daughter. I heard a preview of it too. It's really good. Gypsy definitely did the other 13 and I think that she also did the slash. Hey, Mandolin. I think that I actually don't think that she did it before Nick got there. If Nicholas was sitting outside for 45 minutes while Gypsy was in the house doing whatever it was that she was doing, it's possible that he could have done the 4 times. Thank you so much for that. It's possible that he could have done the 4 times and they could have heard her mother still grumbling, like grasping on for life, like still holding on. And so while he was sitting outside waiting for the taxi, she went in and did the rest because she was probably afraid that he didn't do it enough or go deep enough or whatever. Because it's like when you jab somebody, and I don't know this for a fact because I've never jabbed somebody, but I'm guessing that it takes a while for them to bleed out, and before they bleed out they're literally like like grasping for life. And I feel like that's probably what was happening. And she probably went in there to finish the job. I'm not gonna watch season 2 either. We did one of the other viewers on my channel did talk about possibly streaming it through the Lifetime app. So that way nobody is, hey lady, hey fancy, that way nobody is like paying to support her in that sort of way. Because last season I think I had to pay for it. I think I had to pay for the show because I didn't have Lifetime, and maybe I paid for it through YouTube. I don't know, but I remember I paid for the season. I'm not going to do that this time. I'm not going to pay for anything. Like, she doesn't deserve any of my hard-earned money. On Philo, you're able to watch it on that too, the new season, Fancy? Yes, Janie, you know what I'm talking about because in the book she talks about how she was upset that her mom was paying more attention to the cat. And I think that she was very jealous of her mom giving anyone else any sort of attention other than her. Because she's a very jealous person and she has to have like all the attention on her. It's really weird. I don't think so. She is very jealous. I don't think that that the autopsy showed that any of the jab wounds were after death. Marilyn, I think that she let the cats out and the Humane Society came and picked them up. She had made some sick remark about the cats eating her mom's flesh because they didn't have any food. But I'm pretty sure that the ones that she had at that time of the schmurder were let out before she left, and Humane Society came and picked them up. And she did have quite a few cats over the years. Cats are a little bit easier to take care of over dogs. Oh, I don't know about that. Fancy, do you know anything about a cat that they had in the past that had hot oil spilt on it? I don't know about that. I only started talking about Gypsy right before she got out of prison. So I'm not well versed on like the things that happened prior to her prison sentence. Hey Kasumba. I do have the autopsy. I don't know really how to read an autopsy. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's straightforward, but I didn't see anything in there that was anything that showed that they were post mortem stab wounds. I'm doing okay. How are you? You're probably really right, true crime and t-shirts. I have no clue about that. It's weird that even after everything that she's done to her mother, she still speaks so poorly about her. It's like, let it go. Leave your poor mom alone. Like, we all know she's heartless and just a terrible person. But, like, at what point are you going to stop bad mouthing your mom? Kasumba, I'm sorry that your shelter is struggling right now, but Americans are too. Like, every single person I know is struggling. I just had to ask my ex husband for money to buy groceries. Like, no. I am. How are you? A cactus is the best pet. I don't know about I tried to grow those lotus flowers, but I don't think I did them right. It would be nice if she shut the fuck up and moved on, but she's not going to as long as she's getting attention from the public. I think we can make a real impact by everyone unfollowing her and by not watching the stupid show. And if you feel like you have to watch, do a group thing so they're not getting money off of it. You know what I'm saying? Like we want to make a statement. And in order to do that, you have to make a statement with your attention and your dollars. Right? I haven't either, true crime and t-shirts. I have not either. And then she went on to say that there was a live that she did where she was saying that she wanted to write another book to really solidify her as an author that didn't have anything to do with her life, but she wanted to like solidify herself as an author. Like, girl, you having input on a book about your life is not being an author. And if you authored that book, it was a terrible fucking book. Like, that book was shit. It had no cohesive energy. It was here and there, very confusing to the reader. It didn't go in any sort of chronological order. It didn't make any sense at all. Like, the book sucked. It was very flippy floppy, and it was just dead. I mean, with those words, literally, I mean, it was just flat. There was no, you know how books like take you on a roller coaster. There's ups and downs, there's drama, and then there's, times where things are level and even. There was literally nothing like that in her book. It was flat. This, yeah, exactly. None of the stories ever had endings. They didn't make sense. They didn't really they weren't really stories. It was like she was reading a fucking grocery list and just it it was boring. It was boring, and it was all shit that we've heard before. Like, why, if you experienced such horrific abuse, why didn't you tell us about any of the times that you suffered at the hospital? Why didn't you tell us about any of the other anything else that happened? Why didn't you tell us about things that you didn't remember about you and your dad, or things that you remembered about you and your dad? Like, why wasn't there anything else other than what we already knew? And then to bring up the stupid baby bottle, like, because she wanted to shock people with some new information. That was the only thing that was new in the entire book. Everything else was information that we had already heard, that was, she was kind of just like lying about over and over again. Hey, lady. Yeah, Kimber's doing a little bit better. He's still struggling, but he's doing okay. He ate his dinner tonight, so that's at least good. He did eat his dinner, and he is drinking again. I think 50 Shades had more information and more excitement and more storytelling than Gypsy could ever. She's not a good storyteller because her stories don't ever make any sense. There's no beginning, there's no middle, and there's never an end. It's just like this ongoing victimhood. I definitely agree that she could probably be better at writing PORN. At least with that, she's got some sort of an imagination, soft, wet, anal before big time anal. At least she's got some kind of imagination with that. With it, nothing else. You would think if she wanted to make it sound believable, she would just tell the story from the story that she got it from. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Why not just tell the story like what you got when you heard the story from wherever you got the story? Why not just tell it that way? At least that would make it more believable. Am I a witch? Why would you ask if I'm a witch? Hold on. What's wrong with my eyebrows? You don't like them? I have a witch nose and face lines. Okay. Thank you for your observation. I really appreciate that. I can tell. I am a witch. I am. Be careful. I think that there's so Marilyn, somebody said that the number one top searched like I guess category on these PORN websites is family. Like family having sex with family members. That's like the number one search thing. So I think that if she really wanted to, she could, make a career doing that. I think they're just trolling you guys. You don't have to pay any attention to them. It's true though. It is true. Have you ever heard that? Yes, exactly. Because it's weird how Ryan was very similar to her mother in how she looked, and Ken looks very much like her father. And so it seems to me like Gypsy is attracted to that familial role. You know what I'm saying? Like she's weirdly attracted to her family members. And apparently that's pretty common. There's a lot of weird people out there that want to have sex with their sister. I don't know. Okay, I got rid of that one. There we go. That should solve the problem a little bit. Okay. Oh my gosh, these people must be very, very bored. These people are bored. Oh, that is true. Gypsy does look like Ken's half sister or stepsister or whatever. In a weird way, they did look alike. So I think that they would definitely be into some like familial situation. Yeah, I don't have any mods, and these people are acting crazy. I meant to write Christy likes Ken. I don't know about that. I think that it's a little awkward for Christy to have continued a relationship with Ken after the fact. Like that's really fucked up. Like why would you continue talking to somebody when your child is no longer with them? I don't care how much of a friend you were when you were with the person that you were with. child, like that just seems inappropriate. Yeah, just ignore them for right now, cuz I can't keep up with every single one. God, where did these people come from? I honestly think that some of the shit that Christy does is to piss Gypsy off. I think that I think that she tries to piss Gypsy off because she doesn't like Gypsy. Like it's not hard to see that Christy does not care for Gypsy at all. I mean, hell, Gypsy Christy is the reason why Gypsy didn't have a relationship with her father to begin with, because Christy didn't want Rod to have a relationship with Gypsy. I don't know what you guys are talking about. Nobody's being racist in the comments, like literally. We're not talking about race at all. Just ignore them. Oh, hey Ashley, you should probably because I would need to see like what's happening with your pet in order to help you help your dog. It's really hard to give advice without seeing what is happening. Yeah, I would need to see what's happening, what the behavior is in order to help you move forward with the proper steps to correct it. It's really hard for me to give generic advice because every human's idea of their dog hating something is different. So what you might think is hating something, I might think as just throwing a fit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so we all have a different way of describing things, and in order to give the best and most accurate information, I need to visibly see what's happening. I'm gonna have to end the live on YouTube because whoever these people are being assholes, and they're like taking over the live in the comment section. Like, I don't know what the fuck and where these people came from. Oh, okay. So everybody's Everybody's at home not doing shit. Go look at your own fridge, N-word. These people, these trolls on the account. I don't know where somebody said something about being racist. Nobody on here is being racist. So, Sadie, this is a safe place. There's just a lot of people in here that I don't normally have in my lives. I'm just going to end the live because I don't know who those people are and they're like ruining the vibe.